There you are. Hi, and welcome to the weekly Rocksmith live stream. My name's Dan Amarok. I'm the community developer, and I know that it's Radiohead week, and as a result, people are, first of all, very enthusiastic. It's great to see people explaining talking online, not explaining. They didn't explain anything. I can't even explain anything. About how happy they were that we came back to do more Radiohead. We haven't done Radiohead as a DLC pack in several years, so it was great to see the audience react and appreciate this stuff. And we're going to play all 3 of the songs from the Radiohead 2 pack. We will, of course, dip into another Radiohead track from our library for our bonus song. We have some Ernie Ball giveaways and some DLC giveaways, and so if you're just here for free stuff, you're in luck. You're going to have the opportunity to get some free stuff. But we're going to kick it off with a trailer, and then we're going to kick it off, ironically, with no surprises, with a pretty big surprise. So stick around. Thanks for being here.
You look so tired.
Atmospheric, famous, whatever you want to call them, Radiohead is back in Rocksmith, and I'm really happy that we were able to deliver this week. And joining me for the first song, no surprises. I said there was a surprise. Let's see if you can pick it out when we take the camera to both Jason Kokel and Travis Kindred.
I see nothing different.
No,
Yeah,
no, there's nothing at all different
day.
here. Wow, we're starting with No Surprises, which is already a somewhat interestingly controversial song, let's say. And we'll get into that in a minute. But let's address the elephant-sized instrument in the room. Is this song originally played on upright bass, or is this just a marriage of convenience because you need this later in the day?
It's a marriage of convenience.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm playing an orchestral gig this evening, and I have to leave straight from the office. So I had the upright, and I was like, Dan, like I'm gonna have the upright there, like. what are we doing? And he was like, we're doing Radiohead. And I was like, put me on.
Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
So, which is funny because you didn't really get to you got to talk about upright bass during your encore, but you didn't really get to play a lot of songs.
Yeah, and nothing along with Rocksmith.
Right.
So this will be really fun.
This is actually fun. So if you have not seen the Rocksmith encore, where Travis specifically talks about the history of the construction and the use of the acoustic or upright bass, it's really good. It's available for free here on Twitch. Just check our replays. But also, Jason, can we talk about the 15th fret? And the capo that lives there at the moment?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been... it depends on what... This almost certainly depends on what instrument they currently own. But we've gotten a lot of community reports of, why is it up on the 15th fret? This doesn't fit my guitar. And the reason being that single cuts like Les Paul's, the heel of the guitar starts to creep up around the 15th fret, so it is sometimes hard or impossible to get a capo around that. However, I did some looking into their gear to see, like, well, do they even play Les Pauls? They do, but both Tom and Johnny, the guitarists from Radiohead, they also like Jazzmasters. They also like SGs. They use a lot of guitars, but most of the guitars that they use have a lot of upper fret access. So the allegation is, why did you put it on the 15th fret? As if this was your choice and you decided. But this is what the artist did, right?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, while it is possible to play it without a capo on the 15th fret, it is unconventional and uncomfortable.
You can bar the chord?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
So we're playing a lot of open D major chord shapes. And when we're doing that, you can imagine if this capo is taken away, what that would actually look and feel like. You have to then now put. That's not fun. That is not. Yeah. That's not fun. It's not. None of the chord shapes become fun at that point. Whereas with the capo there, they're able to achieve the sound in the key that they want, in the octave they want, with the use of this tool. So, and that's just. I mean, that's just how they did it. When I'd considered at some point, well, maybe we can do an adaptation, but it just didn't make sense. Didn't make sense. If we did anything, we would have to leave out some of the notes.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that and make it and just then it becomes, well, then it's not authentic to how they performed it. Sometimes that's life. You know that's how the song is. And I mean, back in the day, if we had to play things in E flat standard or whatever, and you wanted to play along to a tape, you just had to tune your guitar to E flat standard. You're just, I mean, that's just the how
dark
it goes.
times.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I love hardtails.
Yeah. So this is, and it is. And like that being said, it is, it's uncomfortable to play that high with the capo. But luckily, most of the chord shapes are just a few frets away from this.
Right.
So once you're up there and used to it, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, when I looked at it after many months downstairs, I was like, oh wow, I'd forgotten how tough this actually was. To put this here and just play up that high the whole time. Your hands are cramped anyway. But they would be cramped even still if we didn't use the capo.
Sure.
So,
So if this works on your guitar, it's going to be a challenge. If this doesn't work on your guitar, get a new guitar. This is the excuse I've been waiting for. I can't play all the songs in Rocksmith, and there's a capo on the 15th fret. I need to get something with upper fret access.
That's exactly what you tell your mom, significant other, brother, sister, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I can't play the song. I got to get that new jazz
I
master.
need it.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
You know how much you love that song, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's the mystery of the 15th fret. Are you otherwise ready to play? You want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
We'll talk about anything at the end. And this is Travis Kindred on upright bass for the first time on our stream, playing in Rocksmith. Let's see how the bass is detected. This will be an experiment. After this, a giveaway from Ernie Ball. beautiful song,
It's
and
pretty.
you both did it really well. I can totally see why the guitar part does not sound right if it's not up there at the 15th fret on the capo.
Yeah.
It needs to have that chime and that shimmer. But somebody had asked, and I'm sorry, who was it? Oh, Porter was taken. Asks, is the rhythm part an octave down?
Yeah, so that's the thing we didn't mention up front is the rhythm part is capoed at the 3rd fret. And it's all the same shapes, just played all down here. And in fact, at some point, the rhythm part is playing exactly an octave lower than the lead with that little arpeggiated part. But other than that, I can just do it quickly. You move it down here, and then the rhythm part is... I don't remember all the chords, but then there's a part where it goes. But anyway, it's all the same kinds of shapes.
Just in a
just
different
down.
place.
Yeah, so it maybe if your guitar, if it's not capo's not working for your guitar, you can play the rhythm path, which is exactly what Tom York is playing when he's playing live. So, and by the way, if you've never seen the video for this song, it's he's like like some kind of helmet, like a space helmet that's slowly filling up with water. And that's terrifying. I've once filmed that in a video where we had to have our heads submerged underwater and sing, and it's just like I could barely do it. Like,
wow.
Well, if you have you ever seen the documentary? I think it's called "Meeting People Is Easy," right? It's a documentary that follows Radiohead through their first big tour after OK Computer, right? And there's a lot of cool stuff in that video. I mean, like there's a lot of following Tom York as he like breaks down in interviews, which was really common at the time because he just has like extreme social anxiety.
Yeah.
And him just like. There's this there's this thing where they just hate playing Creep, like the song Creep. And there's this one performance where Tom York just like gives up partway through the song and just holds the mic at the audience while they sing it, and he just looks disgusted. But I mean, he's just that whole like I can't hang on
trapped.
to things.
Yeah,
you're trapped, right? But that No Surprises video, they film the filming of it, of him getting the water filled up, and they had to do all these takes, right? Because he kept needing to breathe.
And how dare he?
But like it was so intense, and it's like so hard to watch him film that because he's just like, I don't want to go back in. I don't want to go back in. And they're like, come on, you have to. It's really, and like him.
Do I though?
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Forcing himself in. Because
I'm Tom freaking York.
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing because I was rewatching that this morning. Cause it's when I remember watching that video at home, and it was like it's the only song, and of every song I've ever listened to, growing up in a very non-musical house, that my mom came in and was like, "That's a cool song." And that was the only time that's ever happened.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so like this song is very important to me. But yeah, that video is just like incredible.
I have a couple of questions
Sure.
and comments from the audience that I want to get to.
First of all, bass to text upright.
Yeah,
Nice. That low C didn't catch at the.
Okay,
Well,
that's one of the questions. Is you flipped a lever in the middle of the song? What was that? For anybody that didn't see the encore. You basically just changed the tonality, the tuning of the low string.
This actually might be a great chance for the close-up cam if you can get it. But it's okay, you can hear a little bit. So here's a C. That's a normal C on the 3rd fret of the A string. Then here's a low E. When I flip up this little capo or gate as they're called, I can then play a low C. So that's a C an octave below this normal C. This would be the 1st fret of the B string if you're familiar with that. This allows me access to a much wider selection of...
so you can actually fret behind the traditional nut.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really awesome.
It puts you in the range of cello octave lower.
An octave lower, exactly.
Which
And
is
so
useful
for a lot of pieces, that's really common. And you'll actually see that this type of gate will exist on each half step. And so this is a solution to 5-string bass. So 5-string bass for upright is generally quite difficult because the string spacing gets so tight that bowing becomes almost impossible. It's totally doable, and it was a standard for many years. But also, there's so much pressure on the top plate that the bass just isn't very loud with the 5-string. So what the solution has been is to extend
the 4th string.
Yeah, and so there are actually these crazy ones that have these like metal keys that are like bassoon keys, and you operate them here. And those are neat, but they're just like clickety-clackety, super loud. And so this allows the top plate to have the resonance it needs to project, right? Because the bass is the quietest string instrument, but it doesn't impede your sort of bowing angle, so you can really dig in, and you really have plenty of room to kind of bow across. It's really interesting, but yeah, this particular gate was constructed in such a way as to be operated with one hand. Oftentimes what you have to do is you have to hold the string and then operate it.
Oh, okay.
This was made by the same luthier who taught me. So yeah, single hand operation is really huge. Especially for something like this where I was like, right?
Yeah, you seemed to make it in the nick of time. Was it just because you had forgotten that it was going to be going that low?
Oh, no. Well, the song doesn't call for it. I was just having fun.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just, and so when you have like a one-hand operated design like that, you can decide to just do it. I keep doing that flat. I don't know why. Yeah. So that's and you may have noticed I also changed a lot of the positioning, right? Because everything was.
I did not notice that.
So in the track, everything's up on like the between the 7th and 8th fret and 9th fret and stuff up there, which is fine. The timbre for upright bass in that register just isn't very pleasing. This sounds a lot better than that.
Yes.
This is a very dull sound, and this is a very bright sound. Generally, with upright bass, you want to have as much string as possible, right? The longer the string, the better the sound. That's the sort of very, very slight golden rule. But so I moved everything instead of being I moved it.
You can definitely hear the difference.
Yeah,
at least here in the
instead
room. Right.
It's hard and doesn't sound good.
Right.
We're working really hard for something that doesn't really pay off.
All right.
Yeah, it's got to help with intonation too when you're down. Yeah, that, in those. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Half position, first
more
position.
more room to work with.
Exactly. Yeah, a little bit more forgiveness.
Yeah.
And our wise-ass friend Mad Al, said that he noticed the difference right away. You trimmed your beard.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to the new fresh face.
Thank you to that. So thank you both very
Yeah.
much. I think I may have to vamp a little bit to make sure that you can safely get out of
Oh,
frame.
no,
and
I'm
everything.
used to this.
You know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks very much. I will actually, if you come back to me, I'll answer one of the other questions. Makoto Fatora said, is this the weirdest capo usage other than that Blink-182 song where they put a bass capo? And I would say probably it's possible that one of the people coming in next may know what actually, if there's any other weird capo things. But yeah, it is uncommon for sure. But hey, let's get to that giveaway we were talking about. It's time for the Ernie Ball prize pack giveaway. I stand next to the logo every day, but wouldn't you like to stand next to all these prizes? Every once in a while, when we send out these prize packs, since you get everything that you see here on the screen, we also, in turn, get photos of people showing the box that arrived, all safe and sound with their brand new gear. So if you are the winner of one of the 2 packs we're giving away today, we'll do one now and one later. It'd be great to see a photo of this. Put it on the social media network of your choice. Call us out, please. Call Ernie Ball out so that they know that you appreciate that they gave you these gifts. We're just the conduit. This stuff comes straight from Ernie Ball. Ernie Ball regular slinky strings for your guitar and your bass. A brand new strap. At the moment, they are a beautiful navy blue. The Wonder Wipe system, which is a clean and maintenance and care system for your guitar. And a peg winder, which, of course, also, in addition to winding the string pegs, makes that a lot easier, but also you can remove the pegs on your acoustic guitar with the edge of it. And then 12 picks. At the moment, they are nylon picks from Ernie Ball, and then 3 of our super rare pink Rocksmith Skullboy picks. If you want to win all this stuff, our friend in the chat room is UB Vertigo. That's Doug. He's our community manager, and he will tell you what you need to do in order to win that stuff. It's pretty easy, and yes, we do ship internationally, but all you have to do is, if you are the winner, Doug will contact you here via a whisper on Twitch, and he will ask you for your name, your address, and your phone number. We don't do anything nasty with all that information. You don't get added to some nefarious database. It's just so that if the thing gets lost in transit, or if the delivery company has a problem, they have your phone number so they can call you and say, where the hell do you live anyway? Which doesn't happen that often, but has happened. And we would rather them call you than have them return it to us. And another reminder, if you do not know where your prize is, if you've already won, there's 2 things. One, you may have never claimed it. If you don't claim the prize within 3 weeks, we give it to somebody else. If you have claimed it but you live outside of North America, we send everything USPS, so it sometimes takes a very long time for those things to get there and to clear customs and make it to your door. And when I say a very long time, we've seen stuff take 3 and 4 months. So if you're like at like 4 weeks and going, where's my free stuff? it's probably still on the way. Once we put it out there, there's not much we can do. It either goes to you or it comes back to us. And if it comes back to us, we'll contact you. In the meantime, you just have to be patient. I'm sorry. But we do ship them out generally within 48 hours or 48 business hours, I should say, of the time that you win, because sometimes they don't go out till Monday, but usually they go out on Friday afternoon. So if you are one of the winners, good luck. And if you didn't win the first one, don't worry. There's more prizes coming up. Now I can stop talking and introduce you to both Brian McCune and Anthony. Are you admiring the eagle? Anthony Martinez. The eagle. We should tell the story of the eagle, or we should make one up that's better than the story. There is a plaque on there that suggests it is an award for an internal competition, apparently a lighthearted internal competition. And I'm not going to say that the winner didn't really care, but I found it in the garbage. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just like, got to get. Our offices are going through a remodeling. I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. And of course, there's a big cleanup in the office. And I was like, why would you throw away a statue of a screaming eagle? It's very rock and roll. We want that in the studio. So yes, I picked it out of the garbage and cleaned it up, and there it is.
Dumpster Dan.
Dumpster diving Dan. That's not how I want to be known. Do not. I see you already. It's a hashtag. Stop it.
It is.
How you folks doing?
Doing well. Excited to play
Do you
this
have
song.
any nicknames you want to share? No? Probably not. Not on the air.
Nope, not in the air.
I'm Mikey.
You are Mikey.
Yeah, my middle name's Michael,
but your friends and family all call you Mikey,
They
and
do,
then
yeah.
we were stunned because we know you as Anthony, and
Yeah.
yet you're like, yeah, I'm Mikey. We're like, okay.
and then you guys were like, I thought I knew you.
I thought I knew you, man, and now I
Yeah.
don't. So which one of you is there, and which one of you is there on this
I
song?
am here.
Okay,
Brian's there.
so you're there.
Get used
All
to
right,
it.
great. So this is you're going to play the rhythm path on this, Brian.
Yeah.
Because you said I want to do that really weird tuning.
Yeah.
How weird is the tuning on rhythm?
It's the low E string goes down to D, and the A string goes up to B, and the rest are the same. So
Okay.
it's just a little unconventional because you have the major sixth between the bottom two strings, and then you have the minor third between the red and the yellow. Oh, sorry, the yellow and the blue. So it creates some. There's some new chord shapes and things that makes it pretty fun.
Yeah, some
But
interesting fingerings.
I do love Johnny's part. I love Johnny's playing, and
Oh,
he's on the
yeah.
lead path, and especially that arpeggiated like orange and purple string thing that he does. It's a really beautiful line, but Tom's part on the rhythm path just focuses on the groove a lot,
yeah.
and so there's a cool part that you may not have even really noticed that's kind of just grooving under the second half of the song.
It's totally driving that part of the song
Yeah.
along with the bass and
Yeah.
drums, and
Yeah.
it helps elevate
Yeah, it
the
help-
song at the end.
I would
for
say
sure.
that it's like the third layer among those other elements. The bass and drums are definitely driving it, and then he's just like sitting there and grooving
Yeah.
in the middle. So it's this cool space to occupy. So I just had fun with it.
Yeah.
All right.
So so Johnny Greenwood actually plays percussion for most of the song. I'd say like for the first 2/3, and then during that arpeggio section that we were talking about, he jumps in on an E standard guitar. And so for that arrangement, since I didn't want players to go through 2/3 of the song without having anything to play, I created an E standard version.
Okay.
That is pretty easy to play actually. The
Yeah.
fingerings aren't too different from the ones in on the rhythm path.
So it's an adaptation of Tom's part, and then it goes
Right.
to
It
It goes
Johnny's part.
specifically to Johnson.
Uh-huh.
And
So-
is that on the lead path or the alt lead path? for
That's
that?
on the lead path.
Okay, so that's like if you want to play all the way through the song on guitar, that's why it's
Yeah.
the primary thing. So there's a lot for you
Yeah,
to do. And if
exactly,
you want
yeah.
the artist specific, like concert reel version, that's the alt lead in
Yeah.
this case.
And
Okay.
Johnny's part feels like the lead part because of it's on the high strings and it rings out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
yeah. And it's tough to play. It doesn't sound like
No,
it's.
he skips around.
Yeah, and he's so percussive. I mean, it's just brilliant
Yeah.
playing.
All right,
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you, buddy.
No, not at all.
I'll interrupt you. Let's
I get
play
excited about Radiohead.
it. All right. Yeah, it's a good week for a lot of people in the office. A lot of radio fans, head fans, very
Radio
happy.
hands.
Radio hands, go for it. This is There, one of the 3 songs in this week's Radiohead 2 pack. After this, we'll give away the DLC on Steam. So if you like these songs, you could play them for free in just about 5 or 10 minutes.
Syncopation, baby.
Sorry.
That was awesome. I actually I had played through both guitar charts. I hadn't played the bass part, and it was so cool to hear, especially on that bass.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was great playing.
Thanks, man. You
Yeah,
too.
I totally got into the groove that you were talking about. I
Yeah.
totally heard what you meant. He's just like, yeah, he digs in, and it's just it's there. It's there, you could say. Yeah, very nice. Anything you wanted to add? You don't have to, because we're running a
I
little
actually
long.
had a question for you, Anthony.
Okay, we're gonna go to. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's one place in this chart that they have a harmonic on the 9th fret, and I was wondering if that's a real harmonic or a fake harmonic.
Is it a fake
On
plastic
the yellow
harmonic?
string. Sorry to put you on the spot.
No.
Is it that note?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. I think it's more so. If
Is
I
it a
remember
mute
that part
gone wrong?
correctly, no, I think
Oh.
it is, since it produced that sound.
Okay.
I labeled it as a harmonic.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's. I mean,
I think it was something else.
It kind of functions as
Make some noise
like
here.
like a fret hand mute. It's almost like a hybrid.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If I remember that.
Yeah,
part
sorry to put
correctly.
you. I should have asked you.
No,
before.
look at
No,
Brian.
it's totally
Look
fine.
at Brian McCune with a good ear, picking out little details in songs. You know, we've got a job for people like you.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, people get paid.
No, not for people, not you. People like you get
Okay,
paid.
gotcha.
But people don't like you, so that way, yeah, it's
okay.
fine. Hey,
Keep going, Dumpster Dan.
Yeah, I know. I'm just diving deeper and deeper. I sit next to him. It's not like he doesn't know how to like put tacks on my chair and stuff. Okay, so we have some questions that have come in. One, somebody would like to thank you for Rondo a la Turca. Pat O'Cool would like to thank you for that because was that one that you arranged or was that Matt Montgomery?
Matt Montgomery did that.
Oh, okay,
arrangement.
but still, you as the guy behind Boxsmith and said we should really be doing reinterpretations of classic songs. That's you. And real quick, because I know for our next song we have another kind of cool surprise. We have been keeping things from you, but because this is one question that I don't think they can answer, why did you remove free speed mode from Rocksmith 1?
I don't actually
after
know.
Rocksmith 1.
I don't. I'm not a game designer, so I can't say why that feature was cut. But
I just believed it was because they had other stuff that they wanted to do, and it may have clashed with it.
You know, I can't say for certain, and I don't want to like reveal any industry secrets. But I think it was an underutilized by the users, and among the riff repeater functions, it was the one that was made perhaps the easiest to cut. But the functionality is still there insofar as like when you go into a lesson. That is ostensibly free play because
Right.
it waits for you to play the note correctly before moving on.
Right.
Okay.
It does the
But
note
you just
track
can't
does
do it
pause.
in riff repeater
Can't do it in riff
full
repeater.
songs. So
Yeah.
basically, you didn't miss it until it was gone, but
Yeah.
there weren't enough people using it that it may have just been like, let's
and
not
I-
bother.
I
to
probably overstated some things with
no, that
because
could have been.
I know one thing as a game designer, you're not supposed to take things away. But
Right,
but
but-
it was also I think the functionality wasn't totally dialed in Rocksmith 1. I know when I played free play, sometimes it would skip a note faster that I didn't think that I had hit.
Right.
Or like let's say you had repeated notes on the same string, it would cycle you through if you were just sustaining the note. And so it's a feature that needed more work than we could allocate resources to.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Game development is largely a game of resources, and we have X amount of time and X amount of people. What are the most important things to do? So if it was one of those things where it's like, well, it kind of works.
Yeah.
Do we really want to commit to making it totally work? Is this that important?
Yeah.
What have people actually been using it? And if the numbers came back kind of light, it'd say, well, I think we'd get more benefit out of doing this than the other thing. So it does just kind of come down to we wanted to do other things, but what the exact reasons for why it's not
No,
there,
I
we
couldn't.
actually don't know that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't a
well,
part of that
thanks. I'm
decision.
really glad I asked you because you're like the senior dude here and everything. That's great.
Got the white hairs in my beard to prove it.
Yeah.
right.
I suggest blue.
Okay.
Hey, let's do the giveaway for Steam. We've got 5 codes for the Radiohead pack. Why can I not say Radiohead pack?
I don't know.
We've got
Dan.
5 codes. This is
Hey,
just.
Dan.
I just swear this is
You
Diet
need-
Mountain
you
Dew
need- I
under
was
here.
gonna say, do you need a
it.
drink? We're on the same page.
I do. There's a big bottle of tequila in the freezer now.
Okay.
Help yourself and help me. So anyway, we've got some free codes to give away. Our friend Doug, UB Vertigo, in the chat room is going to hook you up, or 5 of you, he's going to hook you up with free codes for this week's pack on Steam. So if you'd like to enter that, just follow the suggestions and the instructions that are going to be given to you in the chat room. We're going to take a look at somebody who has gone through, survived, and thrived on the 60-day challenge. If you're not familiar with the 60-day challenge, it used to be sort of like a thing that you could log into our website and actually track, but now it's just sort of a concept because it does work. If you play Rocksmith every day for an hour for 60 days, and they don't have to be in a row, just 60 days, spend an hour of quality time. If you look at where you are from the beginning and then where you are that you wind up, you will be amazed at like, you should be videotaping yourself every once in a while and seeing what your progress is. So we asked a whole bunch of people to do that and film themselves doing that when we first launched 2014. So this is one of those videos. Check out this person's story, and when we come back, yet another surprise, 2 fresh faces that I guarantee you've never seen on the stream before. So stick around. Thanks for being here.
So, gonna get my guitar out. I haven't seen the guitar itself in like 2 years. It's probably been up here for about a year and a half. My name is Casey Clayman, and I'm 32 years old. Instruments growing up were very foreign to me. I went to a summer camp one time and they had a guitar class. I couldn't figure it out. To me, it just didn't make sense. And then I also got interested in other things. I mean, I was 12 years old and there were girls in the camp, so maybe I just took it to hang out with girls. I don't know. When I first picked up the guitar, I was nervous. Just to like hold the guitar in the first place is scary because it's an instrument, and I feel that instruments, they have to be a part of you versus being something that's set aside. And I feel like that is always scary to me. But when I plugged it into Rocksmith and I'm playing one note out of the entire song, I feel like it's not as daunting. It's not as scary. It doesn't have to be that to start. Hopefully after this process though, I'll be able to pull it down and start jamming. So far I'm enjoying everything about this game. I mean, I really enjoy the challenge of it, but also the fun of it because it keeps you motivated to keep going forward with it. I recognized all the chords and I was able to know what they were. My fingers couldn't move fast enough, but I know where they should have gone. And that's a positive. That's a positive thing. Get it? Today I was working on specific songs with the software. I was working on Painted Black, which was awesome. My accuracy's up. You know, I just played this with 94% accuracy. I feel like I've improved tremendously in comparison to where I was just 3 weeks ago. I've been playing Rocksmith now for 45 days. It really followed my progression of improvement. So when I start playing a little bit better, it starts challenging me a little more. In one of the mini games, I just had the best score I've ever had, and that was really exciting for me. Very happy with where I'm at, very happy with the progress. I've struggled with every other way, and I found this way to be the best. And that's like an honest fact. I pick up the guitar right now, I could play the riff from Walk This Way like that, you know, which is pretty cool. Rocksmith has provided me with a wonderful foundation to continue playing guitar. And that's 60 days. So the software actually progresses you faster than you think, and it's pretty amazing.
everybody. Welcome back to the Rocksmith weekly dev live stream. My name's Dan Amarok. I am the community developer, and you are just in time for part 2 of our show. We're running a little bit long this week, but we hope you don't mind because we have more good music coming and we have more giveaways coming. I believe that we're just probably just finished, actually, giving away some DLC. But we have some more Ernie Ball prizes to come a little bit later, thanks to our friends at Ernie Ball. So if you would like to win Ernie Ball strings and accessories, please do stick around for the end of the show. Because it's very much like the supermarket. It's like the milk at the back of the store. We want you to walk all the way through before we give you all the free stuff. Hey, I said that there was a little surprise. There were some faces that you didn't recognize that were coming up next. And those faces, you know, people ask, are note trackers made or are they born? Well, they're made. And we have 2 newly minted note trackers. This is Andrew Levin. Hi, Andrew. This is Greg Studley. Hi, Greg. You know, a lot of people have noticed, and I'll just say it, that we've been doing like 3-song packs lately. And one of the reasons was because we had limited resources. That doesn't mean that like the packs are going to jump up anymore, but there's a lot of stuff to do on the back end to get DLC out on a regular basis. So when we had the permission and the opportunity to bring on some more people to the staff, we did. So hi and welcome to the show. You are finally out of quarantine. Because truth be told, you've been working here for about a month and a half, each of you?
It was
roughly?
a small room.
Yeah, no, and you were locked in together, so I assume you're very good friends now as the 2
buds.
token new guys. So, Andrew, what brought you here? What have you done in the past? What's your guitar background? Are you a teacher? A lot of people here are teachers.
So I started teaching privately in 2012. And I had a teaching business out in Oakland. I had, you know, between 20, 30 students a week. And then other than that, I did a lot of touring and performing. Performed with a lot of really cool artists out in the East Bay and just kind of had the opportunity to travel and play with a lot of cool people. So
were you a hired gun that would fill in on other people's bands when they needed to do tours and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
did that
that's great.
quite a bit. One of the coolest things I got to do with that was I got to tour with Jody Watley in Japan. Her guitar player was actually Prince's guitar player for a long time, Levi Caesar.
Yes.
And so I got to hang out with him, and he taught me a bunch of Prince's licks. And so he was in Prince's band for 12 years, so it was really cool to learn that kind of stuff from him.
That's great.
So I got to do that for a while, and realized a couple years ago I've been into game audio for a long time and sound design, and so I decided to go back to school to study sound design and composition. Did grad school and finished school, and found out about
this is
job.
all you're doing with your degree? I can't believe it.
And yeah.
I mean, we're lucky to have you with all that relevant experience, but at the same time, I'm like... So I decided to set up my own video game music conservatory. Like, I was expecting some big finish, and you're like... And so now, you know, like, sometimes we get free donuts on Fridays, you know, like... Yeah.
No, but it was
You do?
perfect. Yeah.
You don't.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was perfect because I was wanting to do music for games, and I've been a guitar player for a long time, so it was
It's kind of a
literally
perfect marriage, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the team. Welcome
Yeah,
to
thank
hell. Greg, I promise you will get donuts eventually, but you have to earn them, man. The donuts are for closers. Have you closed your first note track? For people who don't know, note trackers generally work about 2 months in advance. What they're working on now, you won't play until the end of the summer. But you both have gone through your first official note tracks,
Yes,
and you know you got trained by the best, which is I believe Brian Shu and Sam Schwartz have been sort of your Sherpas into the land of Rocksmith. What's your musical background?
Let's see. Went to school for jazz. I've been teaching ever since, which I don't want to tell you how many years. About 15.
I don't think you have to worry about being the oldest person on the stream. It's okay.
I'm good. I guess I should have brought my hat. Can I borrow yours, Andrew, just for this? No. Okay.
There's one behind you.
I like all kinds of music. You know, I play piano, I play bass, I play guitar. Playing a Pink Floyd tribute band, which is a blast. Do pickup gigs on all other instruments. So, music.
That's
and
you.
and a little more music, and I do like donuts on Fridays.
All right, good to know.
Also on Wednesdays.
Yeah, and it would be okay if it was Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays as well.
We could be friends.
Could be okay. Way to Greg's heart is through his stomach. All right, so you guys are actually going to play our sort of legacy track. Again, we have some Radiohead music in the game already, and we sat on Body Snatchers, which I believe is on disc for 2014. Oh, it is DLC. Oh, because we were also thinking of the other one. What was the one that was on disc? Paranoid Android. And when we did the 2 of them, everybody said, I'd rather play Body Snatchers. So, okay, that's cool. Oh, yeah. I'll go looking at the date. All right. So, You are in particular a pretty huge Radiohead fan. You actually sent me the great Radio Bread meme of I'm a crepe, I'm a weirdo.
Oh, nice.
Which I just thought was hilarious. But you were like, oh, I can't wait. I'll play anything that I can. I'll play anything that's available. So you're gonna do lead or are you gonna do rhythm?
Lead.
And you're gonna do bass. All right, that sounds good. And this is Drop D, so if you're not familiar with Drop D, don't forget the game will show you how to do Drop D and how to tune into Drop D. After this, we will do some Q&A, so if you have any questions, I'm going to favor questions that are specific to asking both Greg and Andrew. We need like little lower thirds to tell you who's who with the new guys. Oh, we should have made you wear this embarrassing "Hello, my name is" stickers. I actually have some of those. In any case, this is Body Snatchers. This is available as DLC now. If you have questions for Greg and Andrew, line them up now, and we'll write them down, and we'll get through as many as we can before the end of the show.
I do not understand what it is. I don't know for the hole. Check for calls. Blink your eyes.
That is a wonderful groove. That is really, really great.
Killed
And
it.
and hey, no donuts, but the instruments don't suck, huh?
Ernie
Like,
Ball.
yeah, you could say, yeah. I mean, you know, plug. But seriously, like, we all love the Capri space that's been in the office. We kind of don't want to send it back. And the St. Vincent, you dig?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love mini humbuckers, and those sound great. Those are DiMarzios in there.
Yeah.
So yes, I do have some questions for you if you're willing to go through the gauntlet. Bitspiel says, do the new guys know if they don't 100% their performance, they are shown the door? They do now, so it's been great working with you guys. David's opening the door for you. Does Rocksmith look for note trackers a lot, or was this a special occasion, asks Nova H780. It comes and goes. You know, like, as you know, one of our note trackers, Shane Gann, is out on tour right now on the Warped Tour. When Shane goes away, we lose his functionality. He does some stuff for us on the road, but you know, he can't do like the full job of note tracking on the road. Pody is going to be out for the next several weeks because he's a new father, so he's out on paternity leave. So partly these guys were hired because we already had like a lot of work on our plates, and I say like that for the brand, not me. I don't do any of their actual important work. I just talk at people on Twitter and here. But yeah, it comes and goes. Sometimes we need more note trackers. Sometimes we need fewer note trackers. And it was just one of those things where it's like, all right, well, let's look ahead. And, you know, Pody, we knew that Pody was going to have a baby with his wife. So that was something that we could plan ahead for, getting these guys in, training them up, and getting them to, you know, so there was a seamless production going on. It's not like, oh boy, we need like 15 new people. It was just like, hey, we've got a situation and we can solve it this way. What do you think? And the studio said, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. Thanks for answering that. It was really good of you guys. Let's see. Oh, CJ Blandford. For the new guys, that's you. Was it difficult to adjust to the note highway method of playing guitar? Again, you're both traditional musicians. You didn't learn through Rocksmith. You've played Rocksmith now, and you understand Rocksmith. Does the interface freak you out as somebody who knows how to read traditional music and or tab?
You want to take this first?
Yeah, sure. You know, first few hours, it definitely took some getting used to. I took to the bass quite a bit easier. I think the hardest thing to get used to was the color coding, for sure. But I think it's like anything else. If you do it long enough, it starts to become muscle memory, and you know, it stops being a problem. It's the exact same with reading any other notation. You know, if you see something new that you're not used to, you're not going to have that instant recall that you would have. So it really only took a few weeks before I felt pretty comfortable reading. And especially on bass, I would say the hardest thing beyond the color coding was definitely the chord pains. But again, after being here for a little while, it makes sense, and now it's cool, and it's kind of it's a different way of reading, and I think it can be more fun without a doubt.
Right. Well, I think this question is probably being asked because it's like, did they have as much trouble as I did? Greg, did you have as much trouble as they did?
Yes. Well, yes, I did. But you know, if you've learned to read tab, and you've taken a stint to trying to learn standard notation, you can do it. It's just another language, but you're going to speak it on the same thing. So, you know,
Agree.
You can do it. Yes, it's a struggle at first. It's like this little, you know, hump in the road you got to get over, but you get over it. And then you can read it. It's great.
One thing I don't think that a lot of new players realize is that there is an option to invert the strings. So if you're looking at it and say you've used tablature because that's in, you know, it's on the webs, the interwebs. Have you heard of these? They're on computers now. The interwebs have, you know, ASCII tabs where the low E, the thick E string, is on the bottom. And, of course, Rocksmith wants you to play the low E at the top of the string because it's as if you're looking through the guitar neck. The reason that decision was made, I don't know if you guys know this, but the reason that was made was because people who had never touched the guitar before, it was easier for them to visualize if they saw it as a projection of it just going straight into the screen, you know? So that it was easier for people to visualize that than to try to go, wait, what? And, like, look down. So, however, if you come in with tablature experience and you're used to reading it that way, there's an option right from the get-go that you can just say invert strings. I used it for a long time, and to prove your point, you do something long enough and it makes sense. For the first maybe 9 months here, I could not read standard interface. I had to do invert strings, which was a pain in the ass when we did the stream. When, no, please, you have to flip it. I can't do it. And then one day I just stopped being aware of it. And I was like, okay, I've internalized it. I didn't even realize, oh, yeah, I guess I stopped. I think it was 2.5 years when I went, oh, yeah, I guess I'm not don't need inverted strings anymore. So, but there are ways you can take Rocksmith your way, is what I'm trying to say. And if you do find the interface uncomfortable and you don't want to commit to it for whatever reason, if you're already really invested in tab outside of the game, it's understandable. You can make it more comfortable for you. You had some?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that
no more questions.
The goal is to learn how to play the guitar. So if you feel more comfortable with one way or another, there's no one way is better than the other way.
Except for Rocksmith. Swear to God, there's the door. Yeah,
I'm talking about inverted.
Yeah,
versus,
absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I mean, we tease about that, but we even on that, to be serious, we know that people use Rocksmith with YouTube videos or with a book or with a tutor. That's all good. However you want to learn guitar and however you choose to modify the tools to make the most sense to you, yeah, it's absolutely there's no right way to learn guitar, no right way to do anything.
If I can interject,
No.
if you're having trouble, I suggest playing it in standard view and rewarding yourself with donuts.
That's always a good thing. I have now I'm gonna have to buy you donuts.
Yep.
I have one other question here that I want to tackle. How many songs are in the works? Asks Uzabu, or do you just focus on each weekly pack? It's kind of hard to say, but again, knowing that I'll let you do the math of about how many songs are sort of in the ether before they come out. It takes the note trackers roughly, and it totally depends on how complicated the track is, about 2 weeks from the time that they start working on the track to the time that it is all done, went through QA, peer review, other people look at it and say, I think this part is a little bit different, or I see why you changed this, or is this how the player is doing it? All those internal reviews in QA, then that's about 2 weeks. So every tracker on the team is working on one song for an average of 2 weeks. How many trackers do we have now? 7? 8? I don't know. Everybody, raise your hand if you're a tracker, and we'll just count. We have 8? Yeah, I guess we have 8. So knowing that every 2 weeks, 8 people pick up a new song, I'm terrible at math. So you figure it out. I don't care. But there's always a couple of dozen songs in the works floating around in the ether. And usually it is a straight shot. Occasionally we'll do something and something will go wrong. Or something will say, oh, wait a minute, we need to swap out that song after it's been tracked. That's rare, but it does happen. But they never really go away. They're just sidelined until the time is right. Or if we go, suddenly, hey, we got this song, and then we're doing it, and then, we got clearance from that artist. We'd like to make a pack. So that might get put on ice, and then we figure out when that scheduled pack would come out, and then, that work is already done. But it doesn't go to waste. I think that's it, or that's all I can really answer today. Thank you both for putting up with me. Hazing over, welcome to the team. Super happy to have you on the team. You're always welcome to come up here. I will no doubt bug you to please pick up some more playing opportunities, because otherwise I have to play, and nobody really likes to see or hear that. So I'm thrilled that you're in the mix now, and I look forward to having you on the show some more.
Cool, yeah.
Most certainly.
Groovy.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So in case you missed it, you probably haven't at this point, because you realize if the pack is called Radiohead 2, there was probably a Radiohead 1, and there is. And this 5-song pack is the one that we were talking about before. It's 5 songs, right? Or is it 6 songs? I think it's a 5-song pack plus a single plus Paranoid Android is in italics because that's on the disc. So if you have Rocksmith 2014, you already have that on the disc. So you don't have to buy that one at all. But if you wanted the rest of the Radiohead catalog, that's all 6 songs that are currently in before we added these 3 this week. And for other stuff, I just, I always try to find something that's, either adjacent or, similar in style, or might be of interest if you're enjoying what's going on here. Not a lot sounds like Radiohead, they are unique, but I thought the Pixies might be of interest. So we do have a Pixies 5-pack. You may recognize some of these songs from other music games, too. But if you are interested in any or all of that stuff, that's all available now. We have 1,237 songs. I think we figured out that was it, or possibly 1,240. Well, if not, we'll be at 1,240 pretty soon. So yeah, there's always a lot of stuff in our library that sometimes is difficult to remind people or show people or let them know is there. So that's what we're doing. trying to give that some visibility. So we have one more song to go. We have one more giveaway to go. You have one more segment with me as your host, Dan Amarok, the community developer, to suffer through. And then when we're done, we'll go and then we'll talk about what else is going on this week on the way out. But happy to say that two of my favorite people, I mean, I like them way more than Andrew and Greg right off the bat. But the people that bring me donuts are Brian Shue in the center and David Stevens on the wing, doing the tuning up and doing the calibration. A reminder, sometimes you'll hear off mic, you'll hear like frantic strumming. Whenever you change guitars, and we change guitars fairly often here on the show, you should be recalibrating. Go through the full calibration thing at the tuner. That lets Rocksmith know what the output and volume of your pickups and that guitar is so that it detects the notes more accurately. If you're swapping between a really high output guitar and then you swap to like vintage pickups, which have a much lower impedance and much less volume or oomph, and then, you know, you say, how come your game doesn't work? Oh, the game might work, but you have to calibrate it and let Rocksmith know what you've just changed. So that's what we do, and that's one of the reasons that I talk a lot. Hi, folks.
One of the reasons.
One of the many. The other reasons I really like to hear myself talk. I hope people understand that at this point. You're going to do our final Radiohead song of the day, which is Street Spirit. Shu, you are the note tracker on this.
Yes.
Is this like everything seems to have been weird? There's a 15th fret capo. There's an unusual rhythm guitar tuning. What's bizarre on this song?
This one's actually probably the most straightforward one. The only
I'm almost disappointed.
Yeah, it's just actually a bunch of open chords with an arpeggiated pattern. So it's not, and it's very consistent. Personally, I haven't practiced this, so
we'll you're doing the Pody Memorial sight read.
Pody.
Okay,
it's also
excellent.
difficult.
Yes,
It's
thank you
also
for your bravery.
I think the only weird thing was that there is a guitar like on the last third of the tune that uses like a capo 12 fret or something like that. So I think the rhythm chart just has that.
Rhythm chart has a capo on it.
Yeah.
But you're going to do the lead so that you don't have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wise. David, any surprises on the bass? Did you play it ahead
not
of time?
really. The bass is pretty straightforward. I mean, it builds a nice bass, no pun, for the texture that the arpeggios he's going to be playing kind of build. It all kind of builds towards that, not quite a crescendo, which I feel like it should hit, and it doesn't.
Right.
But this is my favorite Radiohead song.
Oh, great.
So, I think we should just play it.
Let's play it. It's Street Spirit by Radiohead, part of Radiohead Pack 2. Available now on all platforms. You can buy the pack, you can buy the single, you can do whatever you like. But after this, we're absolutely going to give away that other Ernie Ball pack, so stick around. Didn't practice, huh? Doesn't show.
Rows of houses all bearing down on me. I can feel your hands touching me. All these things into position. All these things will one day swallow whole.
Sorry.
It's okay, man. It is tricky.
Private.
I feel like I'm just gonna stroke the whole chord.
You can if you'd like. People are really getting into your concentration phase, though, because it's like you are decoding this in real time.
Did we learn our lesson?
This is what happens when you guys can be really. No.
Was my favorite song.
Barely Embarrassed said, I'm enjoying this more than if he had practiced, honestly. I mean, for those of you who may be new to the stream, Shu regularly comes out here and slays it, and everybody's just like in awe of your playing. So it's kind of fun to see that you are human after all, or at least that you need a firmware update, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
this
people.
also shows you I'm not the greatest at sight reading the interface. We were talking about sight reading earlier.
Well, arpeggiated chords is something that we talk about here in the studio a lot. That is kind of hard to determine when you're holding a chord and then picking individual notes out of order. That's an arpeggiated chord. And sometimes that is a little bit tricky to read in our interface. So practice does help, which you decided not to do for some reason. But, you know, Matt Al has your back. Shu said, he says, Shu killed Dragon Force. So, you know, like nothing else matters. You can do Dragon Force. You can do anything, and you always have a free pass. And a couple other people said, yeah, like that song, they're not surprised to see that it's that hard. They're like, yeah, that's 4 hours of work for them. I think if you had played through it like twice, you probably would have been able to nail it. It's just a very specific rhythm, and it's insistent. So if you don't get in the rhythm, if you don't make it happen, then you're constantly like second guessing yourself and trying to play catch up. But I think if you can enter it solidly,
what's difficult is that it skips strings. Like the beginning, there's 2 string skips already, and then you jump back.
Yeah. It's awesome when you get it right, but it's really work to get it right.
Yeah, I completely forgot what the pattern is, and that's why like halfway through the tune I just kind of sat there and listened to it for a second, just because it's so, for me, I have a really hard time to just sight read it. So just taking the time a little bit to actually hear what the pattern is, that's why by the end of the song I was like doing a lot better.
Well, I'm sorry, no favorites. We told the new guys if they didn't get 100%, there's the door. So it's been great working with you. Sweet. It's summer. I kind of wanted a vacation.
Yep. Need one
yeah,
right
no, that's
now.
totally fine. You're not going to see me being able to do anywhere near that good of a job on that song. So thank you. That was good. That was groovy. How about that final giveaway? You want some free stuff? I know you want some free stuff. How about some free stuff from Ernie Ball? Here's the free stuff in question from Ernie Ball. You're going to get a brand new set of Ernie Ball regular slinky strings for your guitar, which is 10 to 46, and for your bass, which I believe is 50 to 105. I can never see the screen close enough, and I'm not smart enough to call it up on my laptop before I do it. Oh, yeah, it's 50 to 105, it says here on my Twitch replay. You're also going to get Wonder Wipes, which is it's a pre-moistened towelettes, like little disposable cloths that are soaked with guitar polish or fretboard conditioner or string cleaner, so you can make your brand new strings last longer after you have put them on your guitar with your brand new peg winder. And, of course, a brand new strap. We've got some blue ones left. I think I'm going to have to ask for another box of prizes pretty soon because we're running out of the blue ones. But I do have enough for this week, so the 2 winners that are going to be winning this pack are both going to get navy blue straps. And you're going to get a dozen picks from Ernie Ball and 3 of our very rare pink Rocksmith Skullboy picks, but I should say I can't read that. Oh yeah, no, I know, that's on my list. Thank you. I appreciate that, though. I'm being given notes because, because I'm forgetful, let's face it. But you should be using the Rocksmith picks to play. They're really good. They're .88 millimeters, so they're somewhere between a medium and a heavy. But some people I know are all like, oh, I've got to collect these. No, they're collectible, I suppose. But that's why we give you 3. Put 1 in your drawer as a memento, but use the other 2 to rock out, please. So if you'd like to win this stuff, follow UB Vertigo's advice in our chat room. That's Doug. He's our community manager, and he will be asking you for your personal information, and it will only be used to send you free stuff if you win. But do keep an eye on that. He will send you a whisper on Twitch if you are the lucky person that Moobot smiles upon today. Okay, little bit of new business. The note that was held up for me is something that I'm glad I was reminded about because I don't know if I would have remembered. Monday is Rocksmith Encore, and Monday is going to be kind of fun. If you're not familiar, Rocksmith Encore is our bonus stream series that we do about once a month. We skipped last month because we had the final Monday of the month off for Memorial Day. But we're back now, and this actually came from you, the community. Mad Al said, I've been having problems figuring out the rhythms in Pinball Wizard, among other songs. I wonder if somebody could do sort of a rhythm guitar workshop. And for reasons known only to him, he said, like somebody like Anthony. It just so happens that Anthony Martinez really does like to do on-screen tutorials and is a very good rhythm guitar player. So good call, and he bought it. So yes, Anthony's going to do a rhythm guitar workshop on Monday. That's June 25th. That's here on twitch.tv/rocksmithgame. Same time as we did today. So 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UTC. We will do some giveaways as well. We'll have some Steam DLC to give away for some... I haven't actually picked what we're going to... I have to look at my stash of codes and see if there's anything that makes sense to give away. I try to do it thematically, but it doesn't always work out. But yeah, please do join us because we have an extra bonus show that we'll be doing on Monday in addition to our Thursday stream. That's coming up. The other thing, the Steam sale is on. Huzzah! The Steam summer sale, when many a gamer is completely removed from their wallets and all the money therein. I spent $50 today already. As is tradition for one of the major Steam sales of the season, Steam immediately crashed and was down for about 2 hours while people were scrambling, begging to give their money to the fine folks at Valve. So if you would like to give some of that money to us, both Rocksmith 1 and Rocksmith 2014 are 50% off, and I believe close to 1,000 songs, if not fully 1,000 songs at this point, are now on sale for 40% off. So we know that a lot of players sort of see things here on the stream and go, that'd be cool, but I could wait until it's a little bit cheaper. Now is the time. So enjoy the Steam summer sale, but check it out. Check your wish list, see what you had wanted, and see how little it is, and see how much money you're really robbing straight from us by not paying us full price. It kills us, but if it makes you happy, I guess it's worth it. So yeah, I think $2.99 tracks are generally $1.79 during the sale. So it's a pretty good discount. Packs are also discounted, even though you already save a little bit money. You save a little bit more money during the Steam sale. So have fun with that over the weekend. Hopefully you'll have some fresh challenges, even if Radiohead is not to your speed. Maybe there's something that we've released that you haven't gotten around to playing, or you thought like maybe I would like to do it. Now's the time. Next week we'll have even more DLC, and that DLC will be known by Monday's Encore. Even though it will not be played on Monday's Encore. Why? Because at the Rocksmith.com forums in the DLC section, we have a little thing that we do every Friday with our friend Rolling Stone 222. He creates a puzzle that is designed for everyone to solve at once. So come in, lend your brain, figure out what this cryptic thing is that he's created. It's different every week. Sometimes it uses cryptography. Sometimes it uses hidden image. Sometimes it uses word puzzles. Sometimes it just uses social references. And you're going to need Google generally to figure this stuff out, and you're going to need each other. And I'm happy to say that the Rocksmith forums are very friendly overall. So if you're there to help out and be in the spirit of trying to figure out what the tip of the spear is for next week, what song or artist is going to be confirmed through that puzzle, that you can do that tomorrow morning. Our friend UB Vertigo will post the clue at some point, generally on the early side of tomorrow, and jump in, work with your fellow forum folks, and you will find out what's coming next week before anybody else, and before we even talk about it on social media. This really is 48 hours before we even make a breath to the normies that just follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Would you like to be a normie that follows us on Facebook and Twitter? Twitter.com/RocksmithGame or Facebook.com/Rocksmith. We do answer your posts, too. If you make comments underneath or you have questions for us, the social media team, partly which is Doug, also Tawny, who should be here to help Black Widow 9. She's going to be here on Monday, I believe, to help out with the moderation of the bonus stream. And sometimes I jump in, too. Which is nice. But yes, you will get answers, and we are active, and we do want to talk to you through those social channels. It's not just a one-way marketing billboard screaming through a megaphone going, buy stuff, it's the Steam sale. That's me. So that's pretty much the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back on Monday for our special stream. Watch our social platforms. We've got slides and stuff to show you, and we'll let you know. We'll remind you between now and then, probably fairly often, probably at least once a day. So it'd be great to see you then. In the meantime, thank you for being here. Thanks to all of our players, as usual. Thanks to Greg and Andrew for being here for their first time. They made their stellar debut. Thank you to Travis Kindred, who brought in an upright bass and played Radiohead. And it was a really fun special show this week. So thank you for being here for it. We'll leave you with another look at the Radiohead 2 trailer. There's 3 songs available for a nominal fee this week. These are not on sale, but you know what? They're so good, you might as well just go ahead and buy them right now anyway. These are available now in all the major stores on all the major platforms. So enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday at 3 o'clock Pacific. Bye, everybody.
So tired.